Cool. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm David Branco, Fingersoft's community manager, one of two. Welcome everyone here. Welcome everyone online as well. This is my first talk. I was really happy to do it here at We Love Games. I went to one, I don't know, many years ago, and it was a really safe, welcoming place. So this felt like a great opportunity to for me to introduce myself and talk about my story, which is surviving through, well, basically layoffs, a bit of a spoiler. Before I get into it, though, I do want to sort of bounce off of Yoni and Ari's story as well and sort of go into the hero complex, and I want to go personal like Ari was doing. And for me, it was, my worst one was 4 years ago. I was a student. We were putting out finally our first game on Steam. We're really proud. Small, scrappy team. You can go play it. It's on Steam. It's free. It's basically Undertale, but shitty. It's called Roskis, a boozy beginning. So you can go play it there. But basically, it was, we were a week away from, we put ourselves a deadline. The game's going to come out in this date, so we have to sort of squash all the bugs, do lots of QA and stuff like that. But at the same time, my first kid was born. So instead of spending time with my newborn and my wife, who's half asleep on the couch, exhausted, I'm there on my computer just trying to find bugs and trying to fix the game, because I felt like, well, if I don't do it, who will? But I have my whole team there supporting me. So yeah, hero complex is something that sort of affects a lot of us. So let's see if this works for me. Yeah. So that's basically the pitch for my presentation is Musk broke Twitter. If you guys were on Twitter a few years ago, and what it is now, completely different place. With the layoffs, I lost a lot of my mentors, leadership in the company. So that was really difficult. And legislation, in the US, TikTok it seems fine now, but if you rewind about 6 months or so, it was kind of like, will they, won't they? It's hard to know. So social platforms are always changing. That makes things really difficult for anyone who's in social or community management. So yeah, basically, who am I? Again, David Branco, community manager at Fingersoft. If you don't know, Fingersoft, we're a mobile developer in the north of Finland, Oulu. So that's some 500-600 kilometers north of here. Really lovely place. And we're home of Hill Climb Racing. So we have Hill Climb Racing, Hill Climb Racing 2, Lego Hill Climb Adventures, and if you could believe it, Hill Climb Racing 3. That's coming out. It's a bit of a spoiler. I guess I can maybe say so, but we're going into soft launch at the end of this month. So you guys can look out for that. And yeah, like I said, I've faced layoffs last year. I survived. Huge shout out to everyone who's affected. They're in a way worse position than me, and I feel for them. So, and there's lots of people here too, friends who they've went through layoffs as well. So it's a difficult time for the industry. And then, if you don't know, what do community managers do? It's depending on the company, it's different. But for myself, I'm a player megaphone. So basically, what I do every day is I go on social platforms. I look for what the players are saying. So if it's Instagram, we have a huge Discord community, Reddit, whatever it is. I sort of find what the pain points are, and then shout it back at the devs, shout it back at the company, and say people don't like this or people love this. Let's lean more into that. So essentially, player megaphone. But I get to be the megaphone on the other side as well. This is my favorite part. It's whatever the devs are doing, whatever the games, what direction they're going into, I can sort of like shout it back to the players. And that's the best part, because everything we do, we're really excited about. And we sort of, that's my job, is to engage the players, make them excited as well to see what's coming for our games. Content and engagement. So a lot of where this is going is us leaning further into content. So I do live streams, videos. We discuss a lot with our marketing team to sort of plan out some campaigns with, again, updates or whatever it may be for our games. And finally, community spaces. I think this is maybe some of the most important things that I get to do. I get to build inclusive, safe spaces for all of our players. So again, depending on the place you go, it may be Reddit, it may be Discord or social media, and we can find moderators there who help us sort of keep the places friendly and safe for everyone. And yeah, it's really important because our games are more than just games for a lot of players. They're sort of, it's a hub, that's a community. A lot of their friends are there, so we want to make sure that it's not just a game for them, but it's an experience that they can take with them, even outside of their 15 minutes on the toilet playing Hillicom Racing. And then, yeah, making sure that players feel heard. Again, the megaphone part is very important because without community managers, you're sort of putting games out there. You can have your data scientists who sort of can look at the numbers and say, well, people didn't like this or what. And during PGC, someone had a really good point that's kind of like the data scientist will be able to tell you what's going on with the game or what the players are feeling, but not why. And that's something that's really important for community managers, so we can sort of speak to the company and say, well, they didn't like this, and this is why. So we can sort of present some actionables and see if we can shift that or change the narrative. So I mentioned before, layoffs. We had layoffs last year. 14 of us, or 14 of the Fingersoftians, lost their jobs. Our community team was cut in half, utterly beheaded. So, lost a lot of mentors, close friends, leadership changed as well. So it was a difficult time. And in the community team, it was just me. At the time, I was a junior. I had another junior as well, and we're just kind of looked at ourselves like, what the fuck? Like, what do we do? We're a bit lost here. We leaned heavily on the people who were there before, and things changed quite heavily. And this is funny. I presented this idea to the company about like the entire talk, and they went, yeah, it's really good, but do we really have to talk about the layoffs? And yeah, like it's important, and like I said, a lot of people are going through that now, have before in the past. So it's an important story to tell. So yeah, layoffs and global chaos. Global politics are changing stuff all the time. Twitter takeover from Musk has completely shifted the platform. It's not what it used to be. For what I did before, which is an indie background, and now with Fingersoft, we've noticed that the players are just not the same as it was before. And if you've used Twitter, you might have noticed as well that it's not quite what it used to be. You might prefer it, which is cool, but it's changed pretty significantly. Facebook is an AI haven. Moms and dads love Facebook. So does my mom. She's probably watching. Shout out, Mom. My mom loves sharing AI slop, which is great. If you like AI slop, then that's your thing. But it's changing Facebook as what it used to be. Instagram went full on into Reels. So before you would just kind of scroll your feed and look at people's lovely images and whatever they're traveling and stuff like that. But now everyone goes to Instagram, they open up the Reels, and then they just scroll. It's TikTok. So that's completely shifted what Instagram was doing. And I mentioned earlier as well, TikTok in USA, they were doing the dance of will they, won't they. Seems like the US politicians are a bit more focused on, well, there's a lot more mayhem there than TikTok. So I think that's not so much of a worry, but that's when I came up with this idea, it was relevant, which was a few months ago, and now it's kind of irrelevant. So that's how things change so quickly. And yeah, politics keep reshaping the digital stage. I told my wife, I promise I'm not going to talk about AI, but I guess I have to. And like AI is a big thing, and right now people are free to do what they want basically with AI, but politics and legislations will be changing that. So it's everything's changing all the time. So back to me and my Fingersoft community manager, Sala, by the way. We were kind of like, well, where do we go from here? We had all these layoffs. Our team was cut in half. So we knew we had some anchors. We had great leadership, like I said before. We had a path. We knew where we wanted to, where we were going. We knew how to do it. We just didn't have the bandwidth. We couldn't do what we did with the team double the size. So our job at that point was to scale down significantly, cut the fat. Anything that was sort of fun but unnecessary, probably couldn't do it anymore. And we had to create a new mission. So in that sense, we knew that, we knew our fans. We've been there for, Sal and I, we had been with the company for over a year before the layoffs. We knew what they like, but not just that, we knew where we wanted to take them. So how did we pivot? We had to put a lot of trust in ourselves. And this is a discussion that comes up a lot in gaming circles, which is the imposter syndrome, which is very real. I'm again, me being here, I'm a bit like, I don't belong here. This is my first talk, so I'm really happy to be here. But there's a little bit of that going on right now with me. And it was kind of like, well, where do we pivot with community and how we want to communicate with our players? And again, the megaphone of both telling the company what's going on with our players, but also reporting to our players what we're doing. So for us, it was leaning completely into video. Going back to how TikTok now is bigger than Netflix, bigger than YouTube. It's the biggest platform, and Instagram going completely into Reels as well. For us, we knew that we had to shift away from just traditional images and that sort of way of communicating, and instead go fully into video. We had done videos before, live streams. They've been positive. There was those were our big efforts, and we put a lot of time, a lot of effort into the videos that we had before to sort of communicate to our players of what's going on with the games. But it was never really a priority. We leaned on maybe interacting on social platforms and sort of DMs or replying to comments or making people feel heard as individuals. But at this point, we couldn't target individual people. We had to have some bigger, broader attempts. And I found that video is probably the strongest tool. If I just turn on the camera and a microphone on a live stream, I can talk to thousands of players at once, and they can ask me questions directly. So there's no room for nuance there. Versus if it's a really well laid out video that I've created and I just sort of put it on YouTube, and there's things that I didn't consider. That's not as good as a live stream where people can ask me directly, "What's up?" And with the video, what was really important as well is that fun should come first. It's one thing to sort of educate your players of this is happening or what's going on with the games or updating them with what's going on. But if it's dry, if it's boring, then nobody gives a shit. So what we wanted to do is sort of lean into the fun. Again, Ares' presentation and the costumes and the flair and the dancing, that's kind of what we wanted to do as well. Like, make it fun, make it engaging so that people don't just sort of zone out as you're telling them about what's going on with the games. And that was one of the hardest things is, well, how the hell are we going to sort of lean completely into video, not completely, but heavily into video while we're scaling down? That seems like an impossible task. Video is much more difficult than replying to individuals or what we were doing before. So what was our strategy? We had to be authentic. That's it. And this is sort of our approach. Some of this, the video's not working. Let's see. They should autoplay. Well, while Santeri fiddles around, I'll sort of give you a audio explanation of what's going on. We have some really cringy videos, again, TikTok vertical format. These 30-second, really short, bite-sized videos announcing new stuff in our games. Like we have a shitty, sleazy car salesman, which is David Dubargan. Yeah, we're presenting new areas and stuff like that. But I'm guessing the videos didn't come through, so I'll just skip. Yeah, okay. We'll move ahead. So going back to the being authentic, how did we achieve this authenticity? I feel very blessed that being at Fingersoft, we're not the biggest company, and we're not pretending to be either. We make excellent games, but we can't compare ourselves to some of the biggest mobile game developers. That's simply not us. What we could lean on with the authenticity is our games are really Finnish, which is something I'm really proud of. I'm not Finnish, I'm Canadian, but I love Finland. And it's fun to lean into that weird Finnish humor. Not a lot of people know about it, so that it's our chance to sort of present it on a global scale. The company in our games, this is something that I don't know if they still tout that as like a thing that they're really proud of, but there's a garage punk aesthetic to the company in the games. Again, going back to we're not pretending to be a huge mobile developer. We're 100 something in the north of Finland, and we know it. And then with Sol and I, we wanted to lean into sort of being these approachable personalities up front, something that people can relate to, and sort of like I said before, we had our Discord, or we have lots of DMs with players, so they know us as well. But now they get to sort of interact with us in a different format and on a much bigger scale as well. Yeah, embracing the cringe. That's something that's really important. I think cringe is like it's a huge part of digital platforms and videos and stuff like that. And everyone has their different scale of what's cringe or what isn't. And for us, it was kind of like we don't want to give people the chance to be like, oh, this is cringe. Of course, it's cringe. We're trying to make it cringe, and we're trying to make it playful and approachable, and just everyone could enjoy it. And most importantly, engage, don't sell. Our games, we will introduce new regions, new vehicles, new mechanics, and stuff like that. But we're not there to sort of tell you like, hey, you should really buy this new car. It's awesome. Of course, it's awesome, but you need to tell the players why it's awesome. Make them like want to either earn it, buy it, whatever it is, from the marketing point of view. But just the idea of trying to sell something just doesn't work. It's slimy. So our idea is, yeah, like engage them, convince them that like this is awesome. You should really either play the game, you work your way up to earn it, or if you want, cough up a couple bucks and you can get it now. So how did the players react to our newfound pivot to going completely into video and being a bit more transparent with ourselves and personalities up front? It was mythical humor. They loved it. We're still climbing up. We want to get to unhinged of how much people love it, but so far the response has been really positive. And here are some key quotes from the last few months. Yeah, people, like I said, it's humorous. We're trying to be silly. We're not trying to hide behind anything. It's just us being fun, being authentic, and it's resonating. People really enjoy it. If you want to see it, you can go check our YouTube or Instagram, Hill Climb Racing. So from thriving to surviving. At this point, we've sort of evolved from where we were with the layoffs and our team being cut in half. We're still two, but we're now thriving. We set up a new standard for the company for communication. We've evolved that past what it used to be, and now we have this new way of doing it, and the player expectation as well. Like they love what we've been doing. We've opened up new positions, not positions, but opportunities internally. I'll see if these videos work. I'm guessing not. No, they didn't work. Well, anyways, we as I showed before, we have these short form, 30-second TikTok videos announcing stuff, but that's not all. Lately we've been making some bigger videos. Maybe the heist one would work. Should be from a YouTube link. Damn,
Jokainen myynti Vintedissä on uusi mahdollisuus.
Yeah.
Found it. Hill Climb Racing 3.
What are you doing here? You work here. You could have just asked.
Thank you. Well, I guess that's a great representation of just the silliness, and that was sort of our big reveal of Hill Climb Racing 3. We wanted to get ahead of any leaks, so we leaked the games ourselves. And then the bottom one that's announcing that it's going into open beta at the end of this month. But yeah, those videos, that's all done internally. We could have outsourced it, but we felt like we have the manpower, we have the knowledge how to do it internally. It might not be perfect, it might not be as grandiose as it could be if we just want to work with an external partner, but in this way, we have our staff on video. Daniel, who you saw at the end, you might have seen him doing Pocket Gamer this week, and it serves our audience. They love seeing our faces. They're getting familiar with not just me and Salah, the community managers, but people within Fingersoft themselves. And then, yeah, this is a quote, or a sort of quote that everyone has heard before, that creativity loves constraints, which is what we're leaning into. We want to be creative with our approach with community and communication, and we're working with the constraints that we have. I think it's a great way to embrace sort of what the company has and how to present it to the world. So we don't over polish. We're okay to be sort of scrappy. I would say don't overthink it. What's the point of, especially with what we're doing, of working on something for a year when it's just sort of digestible content that people just want to see a couple times. Show up authentically. I think that really resonates with players. They can see that you're being true to yourself, you're being real, you're okay to share the flubs and mistakes that the company has made, or the games, and just sort of make sure that the players resonate with that. And yeah, have fun. I think Ari pointed this out as well. Like, this is a passion industry. Have fun with it. If you don't, I don't know, this might be the wrong industry. I work on games all day, and then as soon as the kids are asleep, I'm on the couch playing games all night. This is what I do. I love games, and I want to have fun at work as well. Not every day is fun, but you should try to strive for that to happen. And again, all this stuff, players will pick up on that. If you can sort of meet all those things, players will pick up on that. So, some final thoughts as I wrap up. Be yourself. Trust in your experience and knowledge. Going back to the sort of the imposter syndrome, you're here for a reason. You've accumulated a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. Maybe not as other people who've been in the industry for 15, 20 years, but that doesn't matter, because you're here, you're valuable, and you're wanted. So trust in yourself. And yeah, the chaos will always be there. If it's billionaires taking over Twitter, or legislation's changing how we make games or social platforms, chaos is always going to be there. It's not about you it's not for you to sort of fight it, but rather embrace it and be able to wiggle around it. So that's it for me. Thank you so much, David, again from Fingersoft.